Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit of hoppy Pilsner, hopeful goodness, in the form of Autodidact Brewing. This is the Bouquet. This is a New Zealand Pilsner, which I assume means they just New Zealand hopped a Pilsner, not that it's an Italian Pilsner or an American Pilsner, that kind of thing. That's my guess. It comes at 5.1% alcohol by volume. What does it say on the can here? Autodidact beer, Morris Plains, New Jersey. Please recycle this can. That's all you got going on there. A little bit of a look like tulips. Nice, very sharp can design. I like the logo. Names kind of building on me, working on me, becoming a little bit less guttural. It sounds like very much of a German word, Autodidact. So it comes off, doesn't spill off the tongue, but it's getting a little bit better. This is, I think, going to be the second or third review I've done for them. Definitely have another one coming after this. I have a New England Hazy, but I was out and about yesterday and went to a couple different breweries in and around the area where they are, and they had a couple things in cans. One was the New England Style Hazy, and it was this, how about we put that on camera? Works better when it's on camera. This New England Style Pilsner. New Zealand Style Pilsner. And honestly, you're talking about a Pilsner with a little bit of hop character to it. You don't have to twist this guy's arm all that much to, gotta turn on my little oscilloscope. You don't have to turn my arm all that much. So, let's dive in, see what's what. Autodidact, probably been around for a couple months now. I've done everything I had from them, minus, they had an, what was it? There's one beer when I went to the grand opening I wasn't a big fan of. I think it was a pub ale. But when I went there today, I had I had a Saison maybe, and then I had a little bit of haze, and both of them were quite delicious. So yeah, dig that label design. Beer-wise, it's part of a Pilsner. It comes off more of a darker kind of Yennel kind of Pilsner-y in color, so it's got a dark maltiness to it, a soft, ever so subtle bit of haze to it. I mean, these smaller breweries, I mean, that's hyper clear. What am I saying? That's as clear as you're ever going to get a beer at a craft brewery that doesn't have billions of dollars on equipment, but it has that kind of Vienna malt, maybe even a little bit darker kind of color to it, and as white could be had, so it definitely looks the part of a chugger. Let's go chugger. Let's get a nose. Okay. The beer's off. Unfortunately. There is definitely something going on here. I'm pretty sure it's dimethyl sulfide. It's got to be. It's not diacetyl. Those can be a little bit harder until I taste to get what's going on, but to me it comes off way more cream corny than buttery for me, and honestly that's the predominant thing here. It could be a combination of oxidation in combination with a bit of that DMS kind of coming in there, because that does come off a little bit. For how clear it is and how dark it is, it just comes off. That might be the case. I actually don't know how old these cans are, but I bought them from the brewery, so they should be good. But yeah, that's really the predominant note there. Outside of that is just a maltiness. We're just going to dive in and see what's what. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah. It is DMS without doubt. And it's just cream corn. Cream corny is the big portion of the show here. The beer itself is actually there. It's actually behind that, but that DMS is big enough for it to be the forerunner of flavor in what you're getting. You're getting a rich maltiness in here. It actually comes off like it's supposed to be this dark, so maybe that oxidative thing is more of a suggestive, in my mind, kind of thing. It's a nice kind of Vienna malty, kind of darker kind of malt base to it, and there is a pretty decent amount of a sharper kind of bittering for its ABV level. You're talking about something that's relatively small, but it has this nice bittering, up to Czech level kind of Pils kind of bittering, this nice small base to it. It's almost like a Vienna Czech Pils kind of vibe to it. That's what I'm getting from it. But unfortunately, it is really just that TMS is just by far and away the biggest portion of the show. And we'll take this opportunity to talk about these things, because sometimes I do these reviews, especially from breweries that first open, and if I review it and it's got some really kind of sideways thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I just don't finish the review. I'm just like, I just don't really feel like that's fair. Especially the newer places. You're talking about a place that's been open for a year or two, several years. They're doing this. It's kind of like, okay, part and parcel. This is out there. This is going on. These guys are months old, like I said. But we can use it as a talking point. Use it as an opportunity. You're almost certainly going to get beers like this from new breweries from time to time, especially breweries that are not. I want to use my words precisely here. They don't come from professional backgrounds. Now, I say that, and the reason why I say it during this review is because the definition, it's on their wall. If you actually go to the brewery, sit down on board, there's a big Autodidact that tells you how to actually pronounce it, and it says specifically what that word means, and that word means someone who learns something without having a formal teacher. So that, to me, screams someone, the owners of the brewery, kind of, home brewers making good. So you're going to have beers like this. You're definitely going to have beers like this. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it shouldn't really, I don't think it should turn you off to a brewery when they have a beer that has, the acetyl, the methyl sulfide, stuff like that, that is predominant in some cans and stuff like that from here and there, because it's part and parcel of growing. It's part and parcel of a living organism that is beer that is being controlled by analog human beings. These things are going to happen. And it's kind of like one of those things where you have those little kind of bumps. You have those little kind of squiggles, or whatever you want to call them. And then they learn, you learn, whatever, and then you go from there. It's not a turnoff. Obviously, if you go to the brewery, had a bunch of bad beers when I was there, came back again, had a bunch of bad beers when they were there, all the stuff they took home had off flavors and negative stuff. That's a different story. Like I said, first time I went, I believe it was their pub ale, was not a fan. Very much not a fan, but on the flip of that script, I had what was probably, when I reviewed it, the best Cascadian Dark Ale that pretty much I've ever had, and this time when I went there, I had a couple beers and they're absolutely fantastic. So it's kind of like one of those things where, yeah, sure, this beer has this going on. I don't think it's a singular can issue. I have more cans, so I crack it open. If another can is not this way, I will re-review it. But this is definitely like a DMS thing that probably inherent in all of the beer. I should have had it. That's one of the kind of the stumbling points when you go to a brewery. At least for me, if they have the beer that I'm going to go home with, I purposely don't drink it, so that way it's a little bit more organic and fresh when I do a review. But it's more, like I said, it's more of a testament. It's more of an idea of like breweries are going to learn. Breweries are going to have like little kind of missteps, little kind of hiccups and stuff like that. And it shouldn't, as a beer drinker, as someone who wants good breweries to make good beer and wants them to succeed, I don't think things like this are overtly negative to the maturation of a brewery. I am no problem with what I paid for the 6-pack of these, or was it a 4-pack? I think it was a 4-pack. No, it was a 6er. It's one of those things where it happens. You learn from it. You find the good you can in the beer, and you move on to the next one. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to finish this review up. I'm going to crack that hazy, dump back into it, and we'll post these both at the same time. Hopefully that beer shines. Haven't had it yet, and then that way you get a little bit of balance to what's going on here. But it's a good conversation to have when you go to a new brewery that's only been around for several months. They're really trying to do their part, trying to stay open. And this came out of a pandemic, open during a pandemic, because if they opened several months ago, that means they started a couple years ago. They're putting stuff not just in crowlers, but in proper cans. They're moving very, very fast. It's that growth is fun to experience on both ends of the spectrum, and sometimes you're going to get misses, but it shouldn't turn you off in the future hits. Let's put it that way. So, and one of the better Pilsners I've had as late. Unfortunately, no, but we'll try the next one they come out with. Value and availability. I forget what I paid. What I paid is, I want to say $16 for a 6-pack. I don't know, it's $16 for a 6-pack. Craft brewery, small. I'm cool with that. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like new breweries trying to do good things. That's it. We're not going to talk about the beer. We're talking about moving forward, breweries, local breweries trying to do good. If that's the case, then you should pick up beer from your local place and give them a whirl. Autodidact. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? Have you had the beers that I reviewed? Have you had this particular beer? Let's talk about it. All that stuff down there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying some local beer. today. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.